Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting Game Thrifter video. It might be 2025, but there's still a lot of reasons to own a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro. In this case, I'm going to be talking a lot about the PS4 Pro because that's what I'm playing on right now with all of these games. So if you guys are looking into that, hey, look no further. I think that there's a lot of reasons to still own a PS4. A lot of games are still updated for it. Minecraft, is updated for it. You have things like Call of Duty still coming out for it, and that says a lot. When we look at the games that a lot of people play, Apex Legends and Fortnite, those games are games that people put a lot of time and money into, and so the fact that those games are still active on PS4 means that a lot of people still haven't upgraded to the PS5. In my opinion, there's some decent PS5 games, but if you're still holding back on the PS4, I don't blame you. I just wanted to give a cool list of games that I think are awesome on the PS4, even in 2025. Let's get started. Not everything on a console has to be an exclusive, and we're kind of at that point where a lot of things aren't even really exclusive anymore as it stands. But Shadow of the Tomb Raider, really good game, an underrated game in my opinion. I think it was the third installment of the rebooted Tomb Raider series. This was actually developed by Eidos Montreal and published by Square Enix. So yeah, it was a little bit different than the first two, but I thought it was still fun. It's an action-adventure game that follows Lara Croft. She ventures into a jungle of South America to uncover a hidden city and stop a catastrophic event tied to ancient Mayan prophecies. So basically your typical Tomb Raider game, but I think it looks great, and I think it still plays great, and I think that it's a game that some people probably didn't actually get into because it was a different developer than the first two in the reboot series. But, overall, I thought it was really good. The game emphasizes stealth-based combat, exploration, platforming, and it has a darker, more introspective narrative focusing on Laura's personal growth as well. It has some lush environments, really good-looking stuff. Some interesting and challenging tombs as well. A blend of cinematic storytelling and open-world elements, culminating in Laura's transformation actually into the iconic hero that we all know. So the reboot, which was Tomb Raider, and then you had Rise of the Tomb Raider, and now Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and then those are kind of like prequel reboots that take you into the Tomb Raider that we all know and love. So yeah, they really nailed it. Aesthetically, I thought they did a really good job with it. It looks great, as you can see. The game plays great as well, and this is just one of those games that I feel like is incredibly cheap. And if you're somebody who likes single player action games, this is one you're going to definitely want to pick up. Believe it or not, God of War Ragnarok came out on the PlayStation 4. It plays pretty good on the PS4 Pro as well. It came out just a few years ago in 2024. Action-adventure game developed by Sony Santa Monica Studios and, of course, published by Sony themselves. It's a sequel to 2018's God of War, which I actually thought was a better game, and is also available on the PS4. But, again, some people like the latest and greatest games and things like this. But anyway, this is Kratos, the former Greek god of war, and his teenage son, Atreus. They're kind of navigating harsh realms of Norse mythology and kind of going around the prophesized Ragnarok, the cataclysmic end of the world type situation. Pretty standard for this set of stuff, but this is set years after the events of the previous game. The story kind of begins in Midgard, and it's got a lot of the stuff that you would expect from Midgard, Thor and things like that. The game actually blends a lot of visceral combat, has some intricate puzzles and exploration, with a pretty deeply emotional narrative as well, emphasizing Kratos and Atreus as they have kind of this evolving bond, and it gets much more into that as well. Very great visuals, as you can see here. Dynamic battles, although a bit linear at times as well. A rich cast of characters, and I gotta say, the finale of this game is just amazing. It's not one of those games that sticks around too long either, which I think is really important to kind of keep an eye on as well. Is that sometimes games will stick around too long, and this game absolutely did not do that. It stuck around just the right amount of time, and there are some little gripes that I have with the game, but overall, just a fantastic game, and one that's highly recommended for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 owners. One of the most overlooked games is Infamous Second Son. This game came out pretty soon after the launch of the PlayStation 4. Open world action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch, who now do like the Ghost of Tsushima games. It's the third and main entry in the Infamous series, set in kind of a fictionalized Seattle, and you play as Delson, who is a different character than the first two games. So a lot of people kind of maybe took a little bit of issue with that, but he's kind of a rebellious graffiti artist, discovers he has superpowers and kind of a chance. He has this chance encounter with a conduit, a person with supernatural abilities, where he can absorb powers of other conduits, like smoke, neon, video, and concrete. He becomes kind of the target of a unified protection government agency, so he's like kind of on the run as well. And again, I think it's a fun game, and it holds up graphically, so that's pretty important as well. The game features fluid parkour traversal. It's got a very vibrant open world exploration and a dynamic combat situation where Delson switches between powers to battle dupe forces with a focus on player choice as well. Of course, like in all the Infamous games, you have a lot of choices and things like that. They can come back to bite you in the butt, though, so be careful. Stunning visuals, as I mentioned earlier, and a gritty urban setting. It explores themes of freedom, power, and morality. And, again, it's just one of those games that I feel like not enough people really gave enough love to back in the day, so it's nice to see that, this game can maybe get a little bit more love now, and it's one that I always highly recommend. If you have never checked out the Infamous series, you don't need to have played the first two to get into this one. It's something that you can enjoy and play all on its own. So yeah, if you've never tried it, Infamous Second Son, what a blast. Next up is a pretty cool arcade game called Resogun. This game came out as a launch title back in 2013 for the PS4. Fast-paced, side-scrolling shoot-'em-up developed by Housemarque. As you guys know, Housemarque has gone on to do some pretty incredible things after that as well. A spiritual successor to the classic arcade game Defender, it was a standout launch title on the PS4, known for its vibrant visuals and intense gameplay, as well as like the particle effects and things like that. Really cool side note about this game is it was like a cross-buy, which is something Sony doesn't do anymore, or we don't really see that too often these days. But if you bought it on like the PS4, you could get the PS3 version, you could get the Vita version for free. Really cool little thing about it. So yeah, this game is also on the PS3 and the Vita. It's actually set in a distant future. It places you in control of a pilot tasked with saving the last remnants of humanity from an alien invasion across 5 maps. You kind of wrap around the levels, each a distinct sci-fi world. Really cool stuff, unique stuff as well. Emphasizes arcade-style gameplay with dazzling particle effects, voxel-based destruction, and a pulsing electronic soundtrack. It does offer multiple difficulty modes, which I think is very much welcome these days. Co-op and competitive multiplayer, and a focus on high scores. It really delivers a thrilling, replayable experience. You can go back and play this anytime you want. And what's really cool about a game like this is the ability to play this game for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you can get on something else, maybe have a little bit of time to spare. That's what I think is really awesome about little games like this. You're not going to have to worry about, oh, if I started, I'm going to have to play it for hours and hours. It's not like that. So yeah, really cool game, Resogun. Check it out. Up next is a game that probably got overlooked quite a bit, and that is Sackboy: A Big Adventure. This game was a cross-platform game, came out on PS4 and PS5. I think it was like a PS5 launch title, in fact. So it's not actually that old. It's a 3D platformer developed by Sumo Digital, published by Sony, as well as a spin-off of the Little Big Planet series, as it follows everybody's lovable Sackboy in a standalone adventure. So I think one of the big differences, like in Little Big Planet, you can build stuff and you can like create and do a lot of that stuff. This is much more stripped down and just kind of a regular platformer set in a whimsical world. The peaceful lives of the inhabitants are disrupted, and again, somebody kidnaps Sackboy's friends, and so he goes on the warpath trying to go and save them. Of course, it's got a lot of the charm and stuff of the Little Big Planet games and like the different outfits and stuff like that. It's a solo journey, also a cooperative journey as well. Up to 4 players can team up to tackle levels together, which is really cool. It's got very charming, awesome visuals. I mean, you can see it looks pretty good. A pretty cool soundtrack. It's got some very well-refined platforming mechanics. It's really a joyful, family-friendly experience. It's got a lot of creativity behind it. Kind of showcases like that you need to use teamwork, and it's got some lighthearted heroism as well. So yeah, it's one of those games that I feel like not enough people talk about. Kind of an unheralded game, but I enjoy it. I think it's a fun game. I love the Little Big Planet series. This is a pretty nice spin-off of that, and so if you've never played it, go ahead and give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Up next, there was going to be a racing game on my list, and of course, Gran Turismo 7 is that game. Came out in 2022. This is a cross-gen game as well. Racing simulation game by Polyphony Digital. Of course, this is Sony's big exclusive racing franchises. It's the 8th mainline installment of the series that actually kind of blends realistic driving mechanics with a celebration of car culture. It's actually set in a very sprawling virtual world of automotive passion. It really kind of comes out in this game. It puts players in the driver's seat as an aspiring racing guru, as so to speak, aiming to rise through the ranks of the global motorsport. The game's single-player campaign, known as the GT Cafe, guides players through a nostalgic journey where they kind of complete mission. You can earn cars this way, unlock more events by collecting vehicles and fulfilling objectives tied to car history. Starting with a modest used car, players race across iconic real-world tracks like Daytona, competing in championships, time trials, and even special events. The story is pretty light, but focusing on the player's progression from amateur to professional while exploring a love for automotive design. The game features over 400 meticulously detailed cars, dynamic weather, in a robust photo mode with tracks spanning 34 locations, and it offers a blend of arcade accessibility and simulation depth, alongside online multiplayer, races, and a livery editor for customization. Gran Turismo 7 is clearly a love letter to car enthusiasts, emphasizing precision driving, collection, and the thrill of the race as well. So yeah, one of the better Gran Turismo games, especially as of late. They really nailed it, knocked it out of the park with this one. Highly recommended. It's also, like I said, it's on the PS5. It's got a really good VR mode on PS5 as well. So if you have PSVR 2, you can check that out. It's awesome. Up next is certainly one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 4, and that is Ghost of Tsushima. This game, believe it or not, already 5 years old. Open world action adventure game developed by Sucker Punch. The sequel actually upcoming, but that won't be on PS4, unfortunately. You need a PS5 to kind of play that. I'm not sure it looks as good as this game in general, in my opinion, anyway. But anyway, set in 1274, the Mongol Empire invades the Japanese island of Tsushima, and Jin Sakai, a skilled samurai and one of the island's last surviving warriors, witnesses the devastation of his clan and the slaughter of his family. And he goes out, of course, on revenge, becoming a quote-unquote ghost. Basically kind of a hit, slash, and run type of warrior. Really cool kind of vigilante thing. If you enjoy like the Assassin's Creed games, it sort of plays a little bit like that. Has a little bit more to it. The game features a lot of fluid combat, stealth mechanics, open world exploration, and side quests with mythic tales, deepening kind of the lore of the game itself. It's got some absolutely stunning visuals with dynamic weather and Kurosawa-inspired aesthetic to create an immersive samurai experience, blending intense duels with a poignant story of defiance. Now, if you're looking for like a true to nature, a true to life samurai experience in video game form, then this is the game you're going to want to play for sure. It definitely hits like all those marks and itches all those, scratches all those itches and things like that. So I can't recommend this game enough. It's beautiful. It plays great. It's a game that, even on PS4, if you have a PS4 and you like single player games, you're going to be able to kind of invest a good amount of time in it. It's just simply a great game. Seeing how as I kind of wanted to keep this list short and sweet, we're going to end it with Medievil, which is the 2019 remake of the 1998 PlayStation Classic, which was a game a lot of people were asking for. Sadly, I think this game came out at a time when not a lot of people were going to buy it anyway because there was so many other games coming out and things like that. So, I love this game. I think it's really great. Obviously, you're following the bumbling knight, Daniel, who was actually slain in battle previously and is mistakenly remembered as a hero, and then returns kind of resurrected and things like that. So, it's not exactly reinventing anything, but it's just a fun game to kind of go out there and play. The remake contains the original's charm, and it has modernized controls, thankfully, because the controls of the original were pretty spotty at best. It's got some vibrant gothic visuals. As you can see, they really did a good job kind of remaking it, and it kept the really interesting soundtrack. If you didn't know about the game, it features hack and slash combat, platforming, and some light puzzle solving, delivering a very nostalgic yet fresh adventure for fans. So even if you've never played this franchise before, you can still get into it and enjoy this game because it's a lot of fun. And if you have played it, then you're going to remember it and you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember. That's a lot of fun. It's, you know, good fun nostalgia and things like that. So yeah, definitely highly recommend this game. A lot of fun to play on the PS4. So yeah, give it a try if you've never played it, or play it if you have in the past and it's just something fun you want to pick up and play again. So there's my list. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys do enjoy the content, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. The PS4 is still a beast of a console. I think there's plenty of reasons behind having one, especially like say you skip the generation or whatever. I can't really say that the PS5 generation is one that is requiring people to like fully upgrade early on. I mean, even in year 5, I would hesitate unless there's something you really, really want to play. There's a handful of titles that are PS5 only that have come out that have been worthwhile. In my opinion, it doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile upgrading, but I can definitely see why people would choose to still buy and collect for PlayStation 4. So what's some of your PlayStation 4 games that are go-to games for you to play, and which ones did I miss or would you like to see in future videos? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time.